Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Now I'm recording this clip kind of after the fact. Most of these recordings are from a week or two ago. Now this video is kind of detailing an investment that I made and kind of giving you my thought process along the way. So at any point if you think I'm kind of dumb for some reason, it's most likely because the clip was recorded a couple weeks ago and we didn't have the information that we do now today. Today's video is really just trying to give a long explanation to the investment that I made, how it went overall, what I might change in the future, as this is really my first time making a long-term investment that I actually held on to for a couple of months. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and let's get started. So we're on my flipping account. It's been a while. I've been sitting on some items here for quite some time as sort of an investment for the sins of the father. Now I made this investment about 2 months ago now I think, and so far it's looking good. I mean I probably wouldn't have shown you this otherwise, but let's go have a look. Now first up here, I just kind of want to go through my thought process here, or at least what my thought process was a couple of months ago when I bought it. So I'm pretty sure I bought it in March. It was a bit after the Darkmire poll blog came out. So it kind of came out and I went ahead and read through the entire thing. And I was trying to look for items that I could invest in that would most likely increase in price leading up to and on the actual update release day. Now the potential items you could invest in would be, well I guess you could invest in an Amulet of Fury because that will be required to attach the new Blood Shard to, but my reasoning here is the Blood Shard is going to be much more rare for a long time and Amulets of Fury are pretty abundant, so I don't think that is going to have a significant increase. So the Vire Lords and Vire Ladies are out, probably not going to be that good. With that said though, I mean Furies are going up in price, but that's more to do with the Zalcano nerf, although still would have been a good idea, but I digress. So beyond that, we have the Hallowed Sepulchre. Now this is an agility training method. So there aren't any required items, but there are some that might be nice. One of those being stamina potions. I mean, maybe even Saradomin brews if you take a lot of damage. Now, unfortunately, I didn't end up investing in Summer Pies. I just kind of thought of that now looking back at the blog, but that would have been a good idea because if we look at the price right now, going from March to April, it's actually doubled in price. That would have been an excellent investment. Unfortunately, didn't really think of that too much. Okay, so we didn't invest in that either. Now, what we did invest in is stamina potions. Now, when I originally invested in them, I didn't really know if they were actually going to be used in the Hallowed Sepulchre. Since then, we found out probably they are going to be useful, or at the very least, you want to bring in adventure supplies, whatever that means. But most likely, you'll be using stamina potions. Because that's it for the agility training, and the last thing I decided to invest in was actually related to the day alt mine, and that was I invested in Dragon Pickaxe, as I deduced that a lot of players are going to want to mine the new essence and a lot of people are going to be picking up a Dragon Pickaxe. Okay, so let's have a look at those items. We have the Stamina Potion, currently worth around 8,000 GP, and over the last quarter it's actually gone up by about 2,000 GP, which is pretty significant for Stamina Potions. And we also have the Dragon Pickaxe, which has gone up a lot this year, but over the last couple of months, just about 600k. And I did invest in that too. Okay, so let's have a look at the offer history here. Now, first up here, we invested about 350 mil into Stamina Potions, buying them at around 6.4, probably 64.50. We bought 30,000 at 64.70, about 18,000 at 6,400. And another 4,000 at 65.75, which means that was a pretty damn good option. So far, we're at, I think, about 80 mil in profit on that so far. Okay, and the other item here we have is the Dragon Pickaxes, which I bought for 5.1 mil. Currently, we're looking at about a 550k profit, which means we're only at around maybe a 12 to 15 mil profit on that. Overall, on the investment, we're looking at about 100 mil. Now today is June 2nd, so we still have 2 days to go. I'm going to be holding these to the actual release day, as I do feel like their price could go up more on that day as more people buy the stamina potions to fill up the new item, as well as use them for the new agility training method. Same thing for the Dragon Pickaxe. Yes, this could be a bit of a risk if they aren't actually as useful as people think, but I think it's worth the risk. Well, good morning everybody. It is the morning of the update, and well, I woke up at 4:45 a.m. Expected to be a couple hours late on the update, but kind of luckily for me / unlucky for almost everyone else, the update was messed up slightly and there was a rollback, so we're still kind of waiting for the update to come through. Currently it's 6 a.m. and it could be a couple more hours. Personally, I'm happy with that because this will be like the very first time in the history of my channel that I will actually be awake at the exact time the update drops. So I'm pretty excited, especially since it's a new quest. Now 2 days ago I checked in on my investments. So I'm gonna have a look at today. I mean, the worlds aren't open, which means there is no up-to-date pricing information, but let's still have a quick look. Now the Dragon Pickaxe has gone up a bit more since I last checked. The last price point is at 6.2 million GP, which is a pretty fair increase in the last couple of days. That means we've made about $1 million profit per Dragon Pickaxe, and we have 25 of them, I believe. I can't check for sure. Which means we made about 25 million profit on the Dragon Pick so far. And the second thing here is the Stamina Potion, which currently the last price point was 8,800, which is an absolutely massive increase. We're looking at about a 2,500 GP profit per Stamina Potion, and the quest isn't even out yet. Since we have around 50,000 Stamina Potions, that means we have profited 125 mil so far on this item, so our total profit on our investment is about 150 mil, and that is before the update even drops. Now, like I mentioned last time, we're not quite certain how important these items are going to be. I would imagine the Dragon Pickaxe most definitely is going to be the best item for the job, or the Crystal Pickaxe I should say, but the Dragon Pickaxe is the only one that's actually tradable. Now, what's my plan? Well, I want to go ahead and finish the quest as soon as possible. From there, we're going to go ahead and try to kill some of the Firewatch Sentinels. Alright, so we'll come back when the update actually drops, and I'm excited. Well, the dust has kind of settled, the update is out, so how did we do? Well, unfortunately, we made one or two very big mistakes, the chief one being that we got too greedy. Obviously, it's easy to know these things after the fact, but let's whirl back a bit. So on the update day, I was so focused on finishing the quest early, looking up guides, making sure that I could get it done as quickly as possible to try out the new content, to make a video for you guys. So anyway, I was so focused on that I wasn't even paying attention to my investment at the time, and a few things happened. Now, as people started to finish the Sins of the Father and started trying out the new Hallowed Sepulchre, players began to realize that, well, stamina potions weren't actually needed. You could use them there and they might help out a bit, but there's a statue within the Sepulchre, and if you have a Ceradomin item, you can restore your run energy there, pretty much removing the need for stamina potions, really. So my poor stamina potion investment went from around 9,000 each, plummeted immediately. By the time I went and looked, it was only like an hour after the release, and the stamina potions had dropped to around 7,000 each, so I thought, well, screw it, I'll just hold on to it and see what happens. After a couple hours, they had pretty much plummeted all the way down to what I bought them for a month ago. We did see a small resurgence, and I did manage to sell some of them for a profit, but for the most part, we're actually going to be losing some money here, unfortunately. Now, the Dragon Pickaxe was a bit different, but unfortunately followed a pretty similar trend. Unlike the Stamina Potion, the Dragon Pickaxe is useful. It is as useful as I thought it was going to be, but still the item dropped from around 6,300 immediately down to 5,600 during the first day. So why did this happen even though the item was used in the manner that I thought it would be? Well, something I definitely underestimated and won't do in the future is the expectation of the item, and the hype surrounding the item can be way more impactful than the actual content itself. But I took a pretty big risk not selling the night before, and I kind of was aware of that, but I really was hoping to just get a massive merch and so I could make an awesome video for you guys, but that greed definitely backfired quite a bit. The risk was unnecessary. I already had bagged 150 mil profit. I should have just sold that night, and the risk versus reward here, actually, now that I think about it more, probably wasn't worth it. Because the only way that my investment goes up in value after the release day is if the content is even better than the expectation. And as you know, the hype and expectation for new content is already pretty damn high, so it would have to be very strong, very overpowered, or just something completely unpredictable happens for my investment to really shoot up like that. In the other circumstances, if it releases as intended, that still could be lower than expectations and decrease in value, which I think was the case with the Dragon Pickaxe. It released pretty much as expected, yet still decreased in value. And then we have the other option that it releases below expectations or underpowered, which happened with the Stamina Potion, and it fell actually immediately to an all-time low of the last 3 months. Now in the end here, how much money did I end up making or losing on this investment kind of gone wrong? Well, it's not all bad. Let's start with the Stamina Potions here. Now, unfortunately, the majority of them I ended up selling at 63.59, which means if you take into account all of the items we bought and sold, our overall margin was minus 60 GP, which isn't great, but that's also not a sizable loss by any means. That was just a loss of 3.1 mil on that item. That's really nothing compared to what it could have been. Luckily, I bought that item such a long time ago, even dropping 25% still netted me pretty much a break-even profit. And last up here, we had the Dragon Pickaxe, which fortunately, we still actually managed to sell for a pretty nice profit. Now, first up here, we sold about a third of them for about a 900k profit, which is good, but it was dropping quickly on the day, and we sold the rest of them for 5650. Which means our overall margin on the Dragon Pickaxe was actually around 600k, which means on the 25 we ended up making around 15.4 mil on, which means overall our total profit on the merch was only 12.3 mil, quite a drop from our projected 150 mil or more profit. But you know what, it was definitely a pretty big learning experience overall. I think in the future when I make an investment, I'm going to make less mistakes. In the future, I'm definitely just going to merge the expectation and the hype. That's going to be a much safer bet and probably is going to pan out most of the time. We're waiting until the update comes out. It's a total gamble. It could go up, it could go down. Anyway guys, that is it for my investment video. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not, but I think just overall showing you my thought process, showing you what happened, I think it's going to make it still for an interesting video, and hopefully you guys learn something if you decide to make an investment yourself. Thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.